How to create viral Instagram carousels with Claude AI. Now, Instagram carousels are still one of the highest organic reach formats that are available on the platform, and they've been remarkably durable through every algorithm update over the past few years. Now, the reason is simple. That the format that most reliably creates the swipe through behavior the algorithm is designed to reward time spent in the post, multiple screen interactions, moving to, a natural inclination to save for later. But most carousels fail, and they fail for the same three reasons over and over. A weak hook that doesn't earn the first swipe. Now, too much text crammed onto each individual slide is, of course, going to be different, and it's going to work in a very different way. Now, of course, the time spent in all of this is going to be very consistent. I'm going to give you the complete end-to-end workflow for using Claude to create carousels that actually perform, not just look competent, but generate saves and shares, which are the signals that drive real algorithmic reach. Now, let's actually go ahead and start with a clear-eyed diagnosis of what actually goes wrong with carousels that don't perform. Because if you understand the failure modes precisely, you can avoid them precisely rather than just hopping or hoping to avoid them by accident. Now, the first failure mode is the hook problem. All right. Your cover slide is the only piece of content that is going to be able to grab the viewer's attention. It's not a vague teaser, it's a specific concrete value promise that answers the question, why should I spend the next 30 seconds swiping through this instead of the next thing in my feed? Now, most carousel cover slides fail because they're vague, generic, or make a promise so broad it doesn't feel urgent or relevant to anyone specifically. Now, the second failure mode is going to be slide density. Instagram carousels are read while scrolling a phone, often in under 5 seconds per slide. Now, a slide with 3 paragraphs of text, regardless of how good the content is, will be abandoned before it is finished. Not because the viewer is not interested, but because reading 3 paragraphs on a phone screen while casually scrolling a feed is cognitively costly in a way that quickly exceeds the reward the viewer expects. One clear idea expressed concisely per slide, full stop. Now, the third failure mode is structural carousel that takes 8 slides to arrive at its point. Or worse, one that never quite arrives at a point at all and just ends. Now, every slide should move the viewer forward. Slides that restate what was already covered, that warm up to the point rather than making it, or that could be cut without any loss, are actively harmful to carousel performances. Now, not every idea is suited to the carousel format. The carousel format works best for topics that naturally break into discrete sequential parallel units, a numbered list, a step-by-step process, and a set of comparisons or contrasts, a before and after structure, a collection of mistakes with their fixes. Now, topics that do struggle in the carousel format are going to be abstract arguments that need to be developed across many connected sentences before they actually go ahead and make sense. Now, highly contextual or nuanced positions that require significant background, topics where the interesting part is a single insight rather than a set of insights, these are better suited to a long-form post, a reel, or maybe even a caption-heavy single image where the full context can be provided continuously rather than fragmented across different slides. Now, when evaluating your ideas, whether your idea will work as a carousel, ask yourself, can I describe this idea as X specific things? Because as you can see, this carousel, it is very engaging. And of course, your idea needs to be as engaging as this, short-lived, not a lot of detailing in it. It's very aesthetically pleasing and it catches the eye of the user. So, of course, you will need to make sure that everything you do is going to be according to this. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be coming over to our very own Claude. And once we're in our Claude, what we're going to do is we're simply going to start a project with a hook slide and treat it as a distinct standalone creative task rather than just first slide in a series. So as you can see, I gave it the prompt. I want to create a carousel on Instagram. The hook is about charcoal face wash. I don't want it to be fluff, not lengthy. Please make it viral and try to add good and aesthetically pleasing, features in it. So what it did is, as you can see, gave us proper integrations of designs, a hook, a problem, how it works, then ingredients, results, and CTA. And the slides are pretty incredible. They're aesthetically pleasing, they're eye-catching, good fonts, good, blockage usage, and everything else. And of course, Claude is the king in all of this because what Claude does is it actually goes ahead and understands the real workings of the world. Okay. It understands what the user wants, it understands what the user actually demands. And of course, doing this as so will provide Claude with the efficient information to, give you a proper idea of things. Now, of course, when evaluating hook options, apply one specific criterion above all others, that is specificity, which is 5 mistakes killing your Instagram reach, which is a much stronger hook than how to improve your Instagram because it is specific. A defined number, specific mechanism, a concrete consequence, all that is useful. And the one morning habit that changed how I plan my week is much stronger than morning routines that help you to be more productive for the same reason. Specific number, specific time, specific outcome. Now, brevity is obviously the second criterion. The hook needs to be readable, like this one. It needs to be readable in a single glance, not a paragraph, not even two full sentences. Ideally, a single punchy line like your face wash is lying to you. Now, if the viewer does have to read the hook twice to understand what the carousel is about, it's already lost the competition for attention to whatever is one scroll further down the feed. Now, once you obviously have a hook that works, obviously use it along the design, okay? Use it with proper brevity and the proper, guidelines and steps. And as you can see, Claude even provides you the proper hooks, and everything that you can see over here is quite the same like this carousel over here. Now, all these different carousels work efficiently, but this one is a very good example because you can see the images are quite simple. The text is quite small. They've used proper coloring in it to, quantify things, to make something more, in detail, etc. It's pretty, straightforward. It's pretty, you could say, fun to work around with because it gives you a proper processed idea of what things are and how you're going to want to apply the carousel to your outline. Now, the final slide needs exactly two things: a clear summary of core takeaway, not a recap of everything covered, a single distilled point, and a specific concrete call to action. Now, the call to action is obviously worth being deliberate about, and you need to make sure that you are adding the correct things for yourself in the call to action. So, of course, having these things for yourself in your call to action is going to be incredible. Just like this one over here that says clean starts here. Now, strong specific hook before anything else is better. Outline before a single word of slide copy, one idea per slide with a strict word discipline, specific CTA on the closing slide, complete visual system before generating any individual slide visual, and final read-through as an unfamiliar viewer before publishing. Now, this is the complete carousel production workflow. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, drop down a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to be seeing all of you in the next video. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.